Introduction to Operating Systems. After watching this video, you will be able to describe what an operating system is and describe the functions operating systems manage, classify types of operating systems, describe operating system generations, and describe the history of Linux, Windows, Mac OS, and Chrome OS operating systems. Operating systems provide standardized backbone code for managing input, output, processing, and storage. These efforts help keep data error-free and mitigate data loss. Operating systems can have more than one environment. The first environment, the Command Line Interface, or CLI, is an environment where the user can type commands. The second environment is known as a graphical user interface, or a graphic shell. These environments provide menus, links, buttons, and fields that help users manage the operating system. History groups operating systems into 4 generations. The first generation was from 1945 to 1955. The second generation happened from 1955 to 1965. The third generation lasted 15 years from 1965 to 1980. And 1980 ushered in the fourth and current generation. During the first generation of modern computing, from 1945 to 1955, operating systems that worked for multiple computers did not yet exist. Each computer's parameters were uniquely created for every job or task using machine language. However, some of the code developed during this era became the basis for future operating systems. During the second generation of operating systems, mainframe computers became available for commercial and scientific use. Tape drives, a relatively new invention, provided input and output storage. In 1956, General Motors Research produced the first single-stream batch operating system, notably for its IBM 704 computing system. Subsequently, IBM became the first company to create operating systems to accompany computers. Embedded operating systems developed in the early 1960s and still in use focus on a single task, providing split-second response times, also known as low latency. In case of a system error, these operating systems can restart where the task needs to resume. Real-time operating systems are a type of embedded operating system. Airplanes, air traffic control systems, and space exploration were among the first to use real-time operating systems. As time passed, satellite systems, robotics, and even our cars implemented real-time operating systems. Then, during the third generation of operating system development, additional companies began creating batch file operating systems specifically for their large computing needs. This generation of operating systems saw the development of network operating systems that provided scalable, fast, accurate, and secure network traffic and communications, and enabled each workstation within the network to operate independently. In 1969, the Unix operating system offered a new innovation, an operating system that was installable on multiple computer systems and featured processor time-sharing. Processor time-sharing enabled multiple users with different programs to interact nearly simultaneously with a central computer, such as a mainframe. The fourth and current generation of operating systems brought computing into a new age with multitasking operating systems, including Linux, Windows, Mac OS, and Chrome OS operating systems that enable computers to perform multiple complex tasks simultaneously. Mobile operating systems, including Android, Windows, iOS, and Chrome OS, which is also considered a mobile operating system, fit the definition of multitasking operating systems. Let's learn more about some of these operating systems. In 1991, Linus Torvalds created a small open-source operating system for a PC, releasing version 1.0 of Linux in 1994. In 1996, the version 2.0 release, with support for network-based symmetric multiprocessing, or SMP, provided a serious technical benefit for commercial and scientific data processing, evolving Linux into a powerful network and server operating system. Throughout the next 10 years, Linux gained market acceptance, and its distributions continued to mature. In 2013, Google's Linux-based mobile operating system, Android, took 75% of the market share. When evaluating the value of Linux, consider that in 2018, IBM acquired Red Hat for $34 billion. The operating systems PC-DOS and MS-DOS once existed, with MS-DOS launching in 1981. In 1985, Windows offered the consumer market a graphical user interface version of the Windows operating system, written in variations of C language. In 1995, the debut of Windows 95 catapulted Microsoft's dominance in the consumer operating system software market, with Microsoft holding about 70% of the consumer desktop operating system market share in 2021. Microsoft also offers network, server management, mobile, and phone operating systems. Apple, with its OS X and Mac OS based on Unix, began its foray into the operating system market in 1999 with PowerPC-based Macs. In 2006, Apple began selling Macs using Intel Core processors. In 2020, Apple began the Apple Silicon chip transition using self-designed 64-bit ARM-based Apple M1 processors on new Mac computers. Apple also offers the iOS operating system for its tablet and smartphone devices. In 2011, Google debuted Chrome OS built atop Linux. Chrome OS offers a lightweight operating system for mobile devices, including laptops. Laptops and tablets running Chrome OS require less local storage and cost less, making them ideal for students, and this operating system is currently used by about 10% of the laptop market. In this video, you learned that operating systems provide standardized code that eliminates the need to manually recreate all the possible code necessary for input, processing, output, and storage for every computer action. In 1956, GM Research created the first operating system that is also credited as being the first single-stream batch operating system. Linux evolved into a powerful operating system for networks and servers. With the creation of Windows